My name is Raine Flick. I'm from Rapid City, South Dakota, and my major is environmental physical science. I got into the project of end of my freshman year. It was that summer after my freshman year. Basically, Dr. Domagall sent out an email to all of the majors asking for just a few extra hands with her wanting to get back into doing her research.
This past summer was the third year we've been out in Idaho. We're looking at the same area. It's a unit called the horse basin rhyolite. This comes from some of the research I did in my PhD, where I was really interested in these very, very large, what we call rhyolite units. We're looking at a rock unit that is very high in silica. So not all lavas and magmas are created the same, based on how much silica is in them. So if they are lower in silica, they're super, super runny. And if they're high in silica, they're really, really thick and goopy. So what's interesting about these units is they're huge. The one we're looking at is at least 5 cubic kilometers, if not 10. And it looks like it emplaced as a lava flow. But it should be too big to do that. And that's what's interesting about these, is maybe there's something we're missing if we're seeing units that look like they were lava flows, but theoretically shouldn't be able to be lava flows. And that's what we're interested in looking at.
As for going back to Idaho the last 3 years, it was kind of surreal because it's like home away from home. It was cool because you already have an understanding of the area and kind of which roads to drive on, you know, where do we need to sample, what do we need to get a more in-depth understanding of. So it was cool to be able to pre-plan what we were gonna do the following year, each year, and just get more in-depth every time we went back. My role in the actual research itself was kind of just to help Dr. Domagall collect data on the unit we were actually researching. Another one of my favorite parts was being able to present our data at the GSA conference, which is Geological Society of America. This year it was actually in Pittsburgh, so we got to go to Pittsburgh, and it was really cool just to have this opportunity to see other places, whereas if I didn't do this, I wouldn't have got to see Idaho, Denver, Pittsburgh, any of that. I think it's good in college to kind of step outside of your comfort zone and take opportunities that you wouldn't usually see yourself taking, because you never know where that's going to lead you, and you never know if you're going to find your passion through one simple trip just helping Dr. Domagall. It can lead you down many different paths, even if it's not in the volcanology field. It just kind of gets you into that higher level of thinking, and it helps fulfill your college experience.
My advice to my students is always the same: take every opportunity you can get. That means potentially taking research experience opportunity if that's something that's interesting to you. Take internships, every internship you can possibly take. Do one every summer or even through the semester, because it can be really hard to know what career you really want.
Doing the research over the horse basin rhyolite unit in Idaho set me up to think more scientifically, so when I do go on to get my master's at South Dakota School of Mines, I will be much more prepared on their expectations as if I didn't do the research.
One of the benefits of the environmental physical science program is because it is primarily me teaching the geology classes, and it's still a relatively small major, I get to know the students really, really well. So I get a really good understanding of what kind of careers they're interested in. I get a really good understanding of which students would benefit from the research, which students are interested in the research, which students might be looking at grad school, in which case they want to get that research experience. They want to be able to promote their research at a conference and things like that.
So I feel like Black Hills State University has more than prepared me to go along and get a higher education. Working with Dr. Domagall has been a big factor in that, just because she's so helpful in finding job opportunities or higher education opportunities. Without her, I don't think I would be in the same place as I am now, just because she is so involved in student success.